Thank you so much for coming. You are maximizing your Google business list. We have today Nicole, who's going to be our presenter, and you're going to learn more about how to market your business on Google. Thank you.
Great. So I don't know, online, maybe we have some business owners. Does anyone want to nod your head if you own a business? Okay, great. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So we can kind of maybe take a look at some real life situations when we're done with our presentation. All right, so let me get over to the slideshow. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on here on my screen that I try to get rid of.
Press OK on the recording.
Okay, there we go. Okay. All
Like
right.
you should be able to.
Let's try and get this guy on here if I can. This doesn't go very far, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So yeah, so we're going to try and get those Google business listings kind of revamped, take another look at them. I'm with the Michigan SBDC. We assist small businesses across the state of Michigan free of charge. These are some of the folks that provide the funding for that. Here's our Upper Peninsula team. If you're not from this area, I know we've got maybe some people online that might be from other places. There are lots of SBDCs around the state, and you can get in touch with your local office. So I like to recommend that when we're doing our Google business listing, that we also have we've got basic tools that we need to get everything working together. And you're going to need that business email account. That is a good idea to have that before you create your Google business listing so that you have it in the correct account. I run into a lot of clients that will build the Google business listing under maybe their personal email, and then they can never get back to that Google business listing because they've forgotten which profile they built it under. So it's always a good idea to have that business email account. It doesn't have to be in like a paid for account, just a one that's dedicated for your business. You want to have that Facebook or website. I always recommend a website because it helps build your SEO. It gets you better results than just a Facebook page. When you think about the difference between, a website has everything laid out in a certain order, where Facebook is pretty scattered and you have to search around to get basic information. Sometimes you have to scroll a lot. So always a good idea to have that. Google business listing is one of the top things to have, and that's why if you have one, that's great, but we always want to get back in there every now and then to make sure that it's optimized. And so today we're going to walk through the setup, but if you already have one, we're going to get also to the optimization. And they add features occasionally, and that's one of the things they've done recently. So when you want to get your business listing started, you can easily just type in your search bar, Google My Business. You want to make sure you're getting the right one. You want to go to google.com and then the business part. A lot of times there's lookalikes and you might click on the wrong one and end up, not really getting where you want to go. There are other search engines that have business listings. Yahoo and Bing, of course, are two of them. They are less than 20% of all users on these two channels. So whether you create one over here or not is up to you. But if you only have time to do one business listing, I highly recommend just sticking to the Google business listing. Yahoo is one that you can get really wrapped up in the building of it. And you can even find yourself in a place where they're going to start billing you by the month. So watch that one as you're creating it. Bing is very simple. They're just going to copy over your Google business listing. So that one is pretty basic if you want to also try that. So basically, they moved Google business listings from being like a web-based to a maps-based app. So when you're building your Google business listing, you can also just go to Google Maps and you can type in your address and you can add it that way. So you can see it's a pinpoint on the map. You can see all these details if you pop in an address. and then we'll show you how, from here, you can also, just sign into your Google account and then we can get started. So basically you do want to try to be in that business account for Gmail so that you don't get confused later. But there is an option to share your profile with yourself in a different profile so that you can access it from either one, and we'll go over that later. Once you build it, you're gonna see that over here, oops, in the corner. Let's see, I suppose I gotta get this out of the way. You'll see it here. It's accessible when you click on these 9 dots next to your profile picture. So it'll be easy to return to once you get it going. So to get started, one way is just to go to Maps, type in your address. And then you can add your address. This is just showing it zoomed in on, we're going to be looking at one particular business as we're walking through. We're adding a business to this Garden Grove retreat. They're adding a gift shop, so we're going to add another location here. So we type in the address into the maps and it comes up with this panel. And one thing you can do is just go add your business. So that is one way to do it. Another way is to just go Google My Business, and then that's going to walk you through the builder. So it gets you to this place where it's going to ask you for your business name. You're going to give it a category. In this case, because it's a second location at the same address, we're going to say this doesn't match. And then we're going to create a new address with a suite 1. This doesn't, they kind of figured this out, I think, so that it's not always, you have to have this be a verifiable address with the post office. So you can't just randomly add a second business to your business without also creating that verifiable second address. It works in Garden, Michigan. So we must have the post office is pretty lax there. So works out. Here is the phone number that you're going to add. You're going to put in your website if you already have one. You can also click I don't have a website or just skip.
Questions, website, if you don't have a website, can you put like a Facebook site in there as well? I see it's URL.
You will be able to put in as a Facebook as a website. Yeah, you could put your Facebook URL there if you're using that as your website.
Very good.
Yeah, that will work.
Question somebody has in the what if your business doesn't have a physical location?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So if you don't have a physical location, as you're walking through, they're going to ask you, do you have a physical location or do you just do deliveries? And so that is one of the options. You can just choose to be a physical delivery. They were kind of against e-commerce only businesses, but they have since come around. And now if you're an e-commerce only, you can also get a Google business listing. And that is one of the questions as you're getting into the interface. I made this one a couple years ago, and now so these other 2 things are there. I should probably make another new profile here so we can get some of the updated features. But yes, that is something you can add now. It's just whether you're just deliveries or if you are e-commerce only. And then you can opt out of this stay in the know, or you can just agree to it. And they do send you analytics on your business listing. And then you can verify, you can choose a way to verify. Now there's several ways to do it. They've made it pretty difficult. It used to be a postcard in the mail, and those postcards kind of got lost or they didn't make it. So some people would have to really request a lot of postcards. So they got away from the postcards. This one was easy to verify because this number is a landline. And when it's a landline, there's trust associated. It's, through a phone company. So they have verified it right away. But if you don't have a landline and you want to get verified, sometimes what they make you do is a video. So they'll give you really specific instructions about walking around your business. You have to show yourself with the key, unlocking the business location. You might have to show some LLC paperwork just to show that you have control of it and you're the owner. You might show you know, a truck with the signage on the side or the business side sign might show the address, but they do give you very specific instructions for how to create that video. Sometimes the biggest challenge with that video is getting your phone to allow your camera to work with Google. So we've had a lot of clients that have really struggled with that on their iPhones particularly. So if that is one of the problems you have, then you might want to reach out to someone who can maybe troubleshoot that for you. And these are some of the different options as we discussed. Then it leads you right into whether, so it's going to take a couple days while they verify you, because they do actually have real people review this stuff and make sure it's all legit. But while that's being verified, you will get to put in the rest of your information. So this is where you can add your business hours. And then the most important piece here is this business description. And basically what you want to do is you want to pack it with keywords that are going to be words people use to search. So you're less wanting to like make it attractive for humans to read, like, oh, you know, like this word cozy, optional, right? I mean, maybe cozy is important, but that's, people aren't going to be Googling cozy cafe. They're going to be Googling, you know, like food types or lattes or other more important words. So you get 750 characters, which turns out to be quite a good description length. Some of the things, we do recommend you use all 750 characters if you can. Some of the things you can do, like if you start running out of ideas, like, well, what am I going to do? In this case, you know, add things like local attractions. So if people type in coffee shop near Pictured Rocks or coffee shop near Fayette State Park, this is going to show up. So these are just great keywords that can help out with getting you found. So keep that in mind. It's really less about people reading it, more about the search engine being able to read those words and serve you up as the answer to the question. You definitely want to get photos. You know, you need to start somewhere. So if you're a brand new business, you don't have any photos, go ahead and pop some in there. You can always take them down later when you get some better ones, but definitely just represent your business the way it is. If you can get those fancy pictures, great. Otherwise, this is just a great spot to have just like real life. Here's what my business is. Just so people who are, you know, think about it, most of them are looking at it on their phone while they're driving. And so you want it to just be a good representation of your business so they can make a quick decision about whether to hit the call button or turn around and go visit you in person. So this particular place uses lots of bright colors, you know, catchy stuff. The guests can also add, other people can also add photos, and those can always can occasionally be shockingly disappointing. You're like, oh, you should have enhanced those colors, or you should have, you know, caught it on a sunny day, but you don't get to control those. So it's always great when people are excited and they share pictures. Hopefully it's good pictures, not about bad stuff. So, but it is Google and all kinds of stuff, you know, gets shared here. So, you just want to make sure you're always ready for company when folks walk in your door. They do have an offer for, you know, some advertising. After you do a bunch of advertising, you can get more advertising. So I just tell my clients to skip this section and then you can make those types of decisions later. Let's see, then they want you to verify. And so this is where we get back to, okay, no one can see it until you're verified. And we discussed kind of the different options for business verification. And again, now you're going to be found here in these dots up by your profile. And then once you're, when you get back into the profile from like the dashboard side, this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to have all these opportunities when you go to your profile, and you can type in your business name, or you can just click on your, in this case, just type in the business name, or you can click on your Google business. And this is the dashboard that comes up. So it gives you lots of opportunities to do different things here once you've got it verified. Now you can do things like post. So a post is like a Facebook post, and these are good ideas because they add keywords to your listing. So something that you might not have had room for on your 750 characters, or if you have a special event coming up. These are all going to be new keywords that are popping up on your site. So it's always great if you're posting it on Facebook, just take a second to come over and post it on your Google business. It's really simple. It just adds, it kind of shows up way down low on this side. I don't know how many people see it or go look at it, but Google sees it and Google's searching it. And that's really the important part here, is not so much people, but the search engines. Reviews are a big deal. You want to get a minimum of 5 reviews. So you could, if you've got really good clients, you want to ask them to review, and you can click on this link to get the direct link for, to send to people to request those reviews. You also can reply to reviews, and you want to reply to reviews. If it's a great review, you can always just say, well, thanks for taking the time to review. But if they give you a stinky review, or they maybe say some not very nice things, this is your opportunity to talk past them and talk to the next people. So you're going to be, if they say, in this case, I don't know, my hot dog was cold, the staff was cranky. This is your opportunity to say, wow, I'm so sorry that happened during your visit. Our staff is known to be outstanding. We have, we meet impeccable standards of cleanliness. Our food is top notch. We've gotten so many reviews, so you can imagine our disappointment when we see that that was your experience. And you could just leave it at that, but you're talking to the next people. You want to talk yourself up as you're addressing that negative review. So don't engage in a fight, and don't try to diminish their concerns. Sadly, if someone gives you a 1-star, sometimes it's deserved, right? Or you earned it. So it's always a good time to just really go, okay, what am I doing wrong? How can we make it better?
Question on that, so
Yes.
are we seeing, like, through your experience? And maybe Google has something set up like this too, we're not seeing like bots going in, posting stuff. You have to physically actually click something to make that review as an individual.
Yeah, Google is really, I don't know their exact like processes, but they are really good. Like if someone gives you a bad review, they're not taking it down. They do give you an appeal process, but if that review came from a real person who was really there, who had that experience, they're not taking it down. I think it would be very difficult to have a bot. I don't know, because it has to be someone who was literally on the site. Now, we've all experienced a person who leaves a review with no comment, maybe a 1-star with no comment, and you look at the name, like in this case, this is a hotel, so like you could look up that name and say, well, that, if they're complaining about the overnight rooms, you can look it up, say, we've never had a guest by that name stay with us. I'm sorry if that was your experience. Please contact us, and let's talk about this so we can, understand what happened. We just don't have any record of it. So now you're at least casting doubt on that 1-star, like, I've never done business with a person with this name. So yeah, I mean, that stuff happens. And sometimes maybe it's a competitor or somebody. I mean, there's, sadly, that can happen. So I would say not bots, though. I would say people, but I would say not bots. That's my thoughts.
Cause you have to have a profile, right, to do it, to make it up. I'm sure, cause you do.
I think Google, I think Google
Email,
knows what's
something.
what.
Yeah.
Google knows what's what, so I think we're safe from bots on this case.
Can you set this up and not turn it live? Can you get it all ready to go or is it a checkbox?
Once it's verified, it's live.
Okay, so you,
So you could put it all together and then just pause on verifying it until you're ready to
or
roll.
something you say, please verify or something. Or do they?
Well, so that's back on, where were we, back here, so you can set the whole thing up, but it's not going to be publicly visible until they prove, till they're satisfied that you're a real business. So they have a real team that is gonna do some checking to make sure that you really exist.
Is there a please verify, I can't read it, is there a verify button or something?
It says, not publicly visible, and so you're gonna have to click this button that says get verified.
Oh, okay, so just don't push to get verified.
Just don't verify it until you're ready. Now, if you're a business that is gonna be opening in a month, you can go ahead and get verified with your location, and there's a spot in here. Under edit profile, and we might see it here in a minute. Once we get past the screen, but it'll say opening date. So your opening date might be in the future. Like you could put your past opening date, like, hey, I've been around 10 years if you want. But you can also put like your 6 months down the road opening date, like your anticipated date. And I think that there is a cap on how far out that can be. But that can be a really great way to get noticed before you actually open. So people can kind of be anticipating the, that your business is coming. So that is something that you can do. So here's that review link. When you click that, get more reviews, it's gonna bring you to this specific link that'll take you right. If you send that to people, it pops them right into that review box, and then they can just go ahead and write a review. So definitely send it to your best clients, your best customers, and request that they review that for you. And then they did add, profiles, so social profiles, any social profiles you have, you can add those here. So, you would also add your Facebook under here, even if you have your Facebook as your website.
On the reviews, I've seen reviews, you can just click on, you do a star or something, right, or comment there. Are there parameters you can set up, like if you want specific information from your customers, like customer service, food quality, so on and so forth, or is it just a blanket review one way, that's it, one blanket?
The Google reviews I've seen are just you rate it 1 to 5 stars and then you put a comment in there. So it would be, if you're looking for that type of feedback, it'd be great to, along with the Google review, maybe send a survey, like a Survey Monkey or something, asking for that kind of feedback.
But Google Business doesn't provide that level. Oh,
No,
all right.
No. no, but I think that's always a good idea,
Yeah.
though, if you're in a customer service business, really dig down deep. It can be humbling sometimes, but that's how you get better, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it does give you some great analytics, like how many people are coming. We can't see kind of down here what's going on, but this is this is gonna be like July, August, September, October, November. So this is there it is. Yeah, that's right. This is a tourist industry, so you can kind of see when the tourists start leaving, your views are gonna start dropping off a little bit. You can turn on messages here so that people can actually message you through the Google Business Listing. Make sure if you turn that on, that you're monitoring it. It should send you an email to let you know that someone sent you a message, but Google pays attention to how long it takes you to answer those messages. It's part of their customer service, check, if they're gonna they're gonna give someone else the benefit of getting higher results if you are not answering your messages and they are. So I would say turn that on with caution when you're ready and set up to make sure you're handling any messages that come in this way. And you do get these, when you put your primary category in there. So when we were back at the very beginning and we put the name of the business and they had you pick a category, when you come back in later, You do get to add additional categories, so this place has hotel as a primary, and then additional categories would be lodge, event venue, and then underneath each category is like a subcategory. So under hotel, they put romantic getaway, again, all keywords. Make sure you fill these sections out, and when you click on that, that's how you get into this deeper level of detail. If you fill those out, you're really gonna be ramping up your keywords and helping Google really understand what kind of business you have, so it can turn you, show you up in those results. Excuse me. So this is the section where we can add our profile, can add a couple different profiles, or we can add people to our Google business listing. And that's gonna be under this, oh, it's right here. It's actually these three dots. So this is like the more category, and we're gonna click on business profile settings. And then that lets us add our different profiles. So if you want to put on there with your personal email address, you can also have your business address. If you've got other people or parts of your business that you want to have access, that's where you add them. We're back to this key section here. There's a lot of other stuff to look at. Let's look into the Q&A section. These are some pre-loaded questions and answers that again are kind of like FAQs on Google. So if you fill those out with some really good, like search terms, then you're likely to get, noticed by Google for specific questions that are asked. Excuse me, hang on. Then you can also, through Google Ads, right here, they got always that little red dot waiting for you to lure you in. They do offer Google Ads right through your Google business listing. This is a pretty easy ad builder here. You can I want to just say maybe flip the switch and end up in a really difficult ad builder, but they do have helpers. They have free Google Ads help. You can set an appointment and they will walk you through the setup. I recommend you do that because this is such a difficult interface. They actually, not long ago, changed it up so it would be easier. It's not. So if you're gonna go with Google Ads, I recommend, if this is the basic builder, this is no big deal. But if you're gonna be doing a lot of advertising, I recommend getting it set up correctly with the paid, the unpaid help. It is free. Some of the things you can do is pick your territories. So if you're a tourism business here in Michigan, you might want to pick some of these Great Lakes states to be in your audience. You could also pick, I didn't go into too much detail there, but you can also choose like age demographics, and interest levels, and then they are going to use their algorithm to kind of lure the right people or show your results to the appropriate people. Sometimes you're going to get people from places you're like, why is that there? And you do have the option to like remove a keyword that would be bringing in like non-relevant people. They do give you some stats on those campaigns, so that's all good to find out. And that is the basics of getting your Google business listing going. The important thing is to get back in there if you are a business owner and you haven't been in there in a while, and fill out every single category, click through every panel on that dashboard and make sure that you've maxed out everything that you could possibly say or do, every keyword you could possibly have for your business. And that's what's going to get you up in results. And I would say that the Google business listing is probably even more important than a website. as far as getting found on the web. So definitely get that going. Does anyone have other questions? I think we kind of ended up going fast. What, if we don't have too much, okay, go ahead.
I have many questions.
Actually, we do wanna, I can go into a real Google listing too, and then we can kind of play around in.
Yeah, if
just-
you want to, back to
yeah.
campaigns real quick. Since
Yes.
you left on that. My understanding, there's an overarching campaign, so you pick your territory you want. If you just put it on like cruise control, it's always gonna target those people the whole time. Or is there an ending to that campaign and you have to go and refresh it?
Yeah, so Google, basically is like a monthly payment plan, so you can
Okay.
max out how much you wanna pay every month. You can say like, I only wanna pay $30. And there's gonna be different times where, like, if someone clicks, you're gonna get charged one amount, but if it's, if there's more competition at a certain time, you might get charged a higher amount. Depending on the keywords you're going after, that kind of stuff is a little more, harder to, figure out, but if you just look at it like, how much do I want, how much can I spend this month on Google Ads? And you set it for, I think you can do a minimum of like $54 or $60. And then you can have it cruise control, but I recommend getting in there and checking it out probably at least, once every couple of months. Because if you forget about it, you might have, your whole business model might have changed, or your emphasis might be somewhere else, and you're still running off old keywords.
Okay,
So you definitely want to make sure that you keep it fresh. You want to get fresh pictures. They do have lots of opportunities to use videos, pictures, especially if you go with the more professional ad build. It can be quite complex, and they're showing up in all kinds of places on the web. You get those little display ads. They can be really effective. They can show up ahead of, like if you've got a video, can show up ahead of YouTube videos. It's all over their products and their associates products. So you want to get in there and check and make sure that the messaging is still, what you want it to be, that it's still landing on the correct page, that, and probably more important than even the Google ads is, you want your landing page, where are they going, to be the right messaging. Because if you bring in all kinds of people, but as soon as they get to your website, they're like, oh, no, and they keep moving. So you want your website to be ready. Now, if you're just using a Facebook page, I would not run any Google
Yeah.
ads. I would run Facebook ads, but where are you sending them? Like,
Yeah.
where do they land if they click on something? What are you paying? I just don't see any control on a Facebook page. And not only that, but you're driving traffic for Meta.
Yeah.
Like, you're building their SEO, right? Because you don't own that web address. You want to have your own domain where you are spending money to drive your own traffic to you.
okay,
Where now your whole digital footprint is going to start moving up in search results. If you're on Facebook, great job, you're helping Meta out so much. But yeah, so that is the key there, is just have your own website, make sure when you're driving traffic, you're driving it to you.
okay. And then, I actually don't have a ton of questions, but, back to like when you're setting this up, so I've never done anything through this application yet. But on Google Maps, I noticed like they're kind of associated. So if you go on Google Maps right now and your account, or just on Google Maps, you'll see where businesses are pinned.
Yeah.
And it says their name. My assumption is that those businesses either have an associated account through one of Google's applications, or it's a business account. So when I go to downtown Negani and I look, I see there's numerous businesses that are not located where they should be located. Or there's businesses that are no longer in existence. So
Yeah.
to my application, I reported ones and saying they
Good.
don't exist. I don't know if they've ever been removed or anything like that. What happens when you go onto the business application, you see that, oh, the hair salon where my candy shop's gonna be shows there's a hair salon. How do I get rid of that?
Yeah, so that is a problem, because a lot of people abandon their Google business listings, right? So it can be difficult to get your business put at the location of another business. One way to do that is to put in I mean, I don't know, I mean, technically it could be a problem, I'm just trying to think if I had any situations like that. Where we had any issues. A lot of times what you can do, what we've had to do in the past is you have to go to that business profile of the old business, so the hair salon, you go to that business profile. And as a citizen user, you click that button that says here, in fact, let's just go to that now, so. If I get out of here. We go over to here and we say, let's just go Google Maps. I'm just trying to think like, what's a business, let's just do West End. What is this? West End
Economic hub, me
Economic.
looking at the sign.
Okay, so if I just go West End Economic Hub, okay, so I'm just gonna look at it. And I'm gonna see that there's this panel here, right? So it's not only, here's their business information, but there's this other stuff. So if someone else added my business, like you're the guy that goes around and you're like, oh, that business isn't on Google Maps, because I had to do that a couple times too. I had to add a business, or in your case, you added a business. So now if your business is already on there, but like you're the owner and you can sit there and you can just click claim this business. And then you have to fill out this form, so, you're not giving it to me, I hope. So I just click manage now, and then I think what they'll do is they're gonna send an email to the person on record.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have to request access to that business, so.
I'm
So
gonna
if-
go claim it right now.
Yeah. You
So probably-
guys own that? Do you have it claimed?
The West End Economic Hub,
Oh, you guys gotta get in there.
So it's probably similar to
I might be
their,
in charge.
I'm assuming
now.
I'm assuming that the old West End person did, but.
so it's probably
Okay.
similar to the verification process when you're setting it up. You have the short key.
So what'll happen, who has ever had that set up under their email, that's the email that's gonna get a request to give you.
What if
Access.
They don't exist anymore.
So if they don't exist anymore, it can be a little bit of a period of time where I think you might have to just. You might get like an ability to appeal. And go around it.
For instance, the chamber doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So how are we supposed to get it from them when the email doesn't exist?
Well, West End Economic Hub, is that owned by the chamber or
No,
was this?
it's not the chamber. But the address was owned by the chamber.
So what she's saying is, if you Google the chamber and now it's sending an email address going to that.
You just report it,
Say that.
So how do you get it? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so it's, if you are buying someone's business, okay, I'm just trying to keep this so very confusing now, so, okay. All right, back to yours things first. Okay, so if we go to the map. We wanna claim a business, it's on the map, but it's our business and we never put it there, we wanna claim it, we're gonna click that button and. What if I click this? We'll undo it, I swear, okay?
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, okay, whoops,
But, go ahead.
I just clicked it.
It
Now
has
I'm
a
sorry.
phone number that I don't know, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna make you get verified, so whoever owns that phone. But now this is the good thing, they give you this option, so you can get it back by doing this business video.
Okay.
So that's gonna just make you walk around, you're gonna have to unlock the door
Yeah.
and show that you have ownership access. And then you'll be able to get management of it, so interesting. That's the owner, so.
Yeah, so that phone number is this one.
So I wonder
Oh,
if
okay,
that's
well,
the
that's
same
good.
case, if someone has a former business there, you do the same process, but you're putting in your new profile and trying to claim the same space.
You don't really wanna claim spaces though, like,
Okay,
the
the location, I mean, like if this was gonna become Burger King all of a sudden, not the Western Economic Hub.
Yeah, so then in that case, what you would wanna do is you're gonna wanna say suggest an edit. So if I suggest an edit, I could say,
Permanent closed.
this place is closed or not here.
Mhm.
So that would be the step one of getting rid of the nail salon, back to the nail salon.
Okay.
We're gonna say this place is closed or not here. So now that we've done that, hopefully Google will process that information so that when we go in to now open our business in that location, we're not gonna have any issues with it. We're under a new name, same location, but the other one's marked as closed. When you're buying a business, and I have so many clients that don't think of this part. The most important part of buying a business is the digital assets. And so many people don't get possession of the Facebook page. They don't get possession of the Google business listing, even the website. They might not even have back-end access to it. So it's just so awful when we run into these situations where people don't own their digital assets. They might have to get a brand new domain name. They might have to, battle with Google to try to get, access to the profile, or battle with the old owner who's, mad about the whole thing and doesn't want to give access. So it can be hard. If you're taking over a business, make sure you get all of that stuff before you sign it's even literally more important than the real estate documents, in my opinion. That's so key.
I have a question. If somebody doesn't know how to do this, how much should they pay somebody to help them set this up?
So that's where the Michigan SBDC comes in. We do this all day long for free. So if you need personal help, like what we do typically is we get on a Zoom call with people, we just walk them through the process. It's just michigansbdc.org, and you just sign up and get a consultant, and I mean, it's not difficult, so I must have made it complicated, but
And this
it's
is being,
really easy.
this is being recorded too, so you can always go back and rewatch this.
Yeah.
Also, if you're a member of the hub, do you get benefits through this nice lady here?
It's all free.
I mean, you're,
Oh.
you don't even have to be a
That
member.
was an rhetorical.
Yeah, if you're a business over in Michigan, yeah, then you get access to the Michigan SBDC. You just have to register, we don't like solicit. I mean, the most we do to like talk about us ourselves is we come and do presentations, but we're kind of secret otherwise.
Sorry,
Help with their federal
Yeah,
funding.
this
so
is the
they
same
can
as
stay-
plug for the Western ones.
Yeah.
And LSCP.
Spread the word.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it is. You guys are, I mean, whoever.
I do this on a regular basis. just to-
Yeah, right. If
Try
it's
to
just
direction.
like lighten your load,
Right.
whatever, send them our way for sure.
Beware of people trying to offer you services that cost money that are actually free.
Yeah.
So a lot of governmental things are free.
Yeah.
They got people that do that stuff for you. They're just trying to charge you for something that's already somebody's giving you.
And the reason they do that is because it's like a secret how to start a Google business listing. There's nobody out there saying, Google's not out there saying, press this button and start your business listing. It's just hard to figure
Probably
it out.
videos on too, I'm sure. This is people trying to scam people.
Yeah, I'm sure YouTube's got some great videos, yeah. But yeah, definitely, I would pay zero. That's how much I would pay. Also for an LLC, I would pay $0 for assistance to start an LLC, because that's super easy too, and it's $50 to get the LLC through the state. And I've had clients pay 600 or more to just get like a basic LLC, and now they've passed over ownership of it to a third party. They no longer have access to make any updates, make their payments, anything. The third party is the only one that can access their listing. So I don't know, remember we were doing the LLC listings, and they how easily you could pass those things around?
Yeah.
But if an agency had it, it was locked. You could not get access. So the agencies have the power to lock those listings so that you can't even get access to your own.
Got an LLC question. I just started one and I got a letter in the mail saying, here, pay $85 to get good standing.
Yeah, everybody gets one of those. It's a total scam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seemed
You
pretty
only,
much like a total scam.
you only have to renew to keep it good standing every year, and that's $25. And you'll get an email for that, so.
And if you also are
not sure something is a scam, you're more than welcome to contact us and ask us, and we deal with this on a daily basis.
Okay.
Just ask me or don't pay me.
I have a question about the advertising. How much people do you reach for $60? How many times do you reach them?
So you can't, it's not like a number, it's how much, so $60 might not go very far because it's gonna be like by the click, so you might use all your $60 in first week. So, I mean. So you can limit by how much you spend a day, so you would never, so that way you keep it going out, but you're gonna run out of advertising, like per day, you'll run out of advertising. But you can't just say, well, unlimited, because they'll soak you. So you just have to live with, like, if I can afford $60, I'm gonna limit it to $2 a day. And then when my $2 is out, they're just gonna stop showing my
Is
ad.
it unlimited reach and frequency, or is it limited to like $2 gets you, 1,000 impressions?
It's not, it doesn't go by impressions, it goes by clicks. So you'll be showing until you clicked out, for the day. So you'll show until you've spent $2 in clicks. Every click is gonna have different costs to it based on the complexity of the keyword. How many people are competing for that keyword? So if you're an attorney, you're gonna have to pay a lot per click because everybody's looking for attorneys, right? So a lot of people are competing, but if you're in the fish bait industry and in the UP, I mean, you might be the only one that's running Google ads. You might have really cheap Google ads. You might go a long way on $2 a day. Because there's not that many people looking for it. You might go really long, you might go really far for that one. So it's really based on the price per click.
Well, and do you have any Google Analytics that you could walk us through and kind of show us different campaigns and what is most successful to you? And
so
I can send it a form.
So, I do have other presentations, but they take just about this long
Yeah.
too, so that we do go over Google ads. We do one that's for specifically Facebook ads too, so, one way you could get access to these is you could go to, michigansbdc.org, and on that website, there's, presentations, like upcoming presentations live, or there's recordings. You can just get in there and you can see what all the different recordings are. So there's lots of training in there, but you can also just get with, if you've registered, you can also get, I mean, I don't know, I don't wanna compete with the folks in this room. I mean, that's just one thing we do. But yeah, you can just register.
Yeah.
So I want to take my name down, Nicole Potvin, then we could work together to just get you, help you understand a little better too. So that's just, I'm happy to help, with any of that stuff. But
You don't.
you guys don't want to get involved. Yeah. And again, with the Google ads, I'm definitely willing to, walk you through like the simple part, because it's really nice to be able to kind of control to a degree your Google ads. You get to set up your territories, you get to set up your the pictures, the images, the videos, all that stuff. You get to write your own headlines. It can be a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna go heavy into Google ads, you wanna just call that 800 or, well, the toll-free number, I guess, and get on their calendar. And then they're gonna walk you through it. But if you're just looking for a general understanding of like how it works or what's it working, whatever, I mean, I can certainly answer some of those questions for you. I just don't think, I probably couldn't get into it too much today.
What are you seeing, I'm sorry, sir, what are you seeing businesses, through your interactions with different businesses across Michigan? Are they buying into the ads? You see a mix of that? You see like 20% of people doing that?
It really is gonna depend on your business, and what is your goal? There's gonna be different, where's your audience? If you're a business, like when you think about why you're on a search engine, like when I'm on a search engine, it's midnight and I'm on a search engine and I'm looking for something specific that I want to do right now because I'm sitting at home on my couch, and it might be make a purchase, it might be, like this morning, I think it was 5 a.m. I was on a catalog, site, and I was like, do I wanna buy that? Do I wanna buy that? I don't know. So I was filling up a shopping cart anyway, so, so people might be searching for specific items. They might be making vacation plans, it's like. So when you're doing your Google search, so if I were to just say, handbags. Leather. And I'm sitting here in Marquette, Michigan, I'm gonna get. A whole bunch of Google ads. Let's see, these are sponsored. That's how you know they're Google ads, sponsored products. And then we're gonna go into more sponsored products. And when we get below the ads, so this is where you're gonna be competing to show up with handbags, if that's the item that you're trying to sell. But when you think about, look who you're competing with. That's gonna be a pricey ad, so you might not want to compete on handbags, you might find something different. But now this section, these are free, so if you've got like a Shopify, a Wix, any kind of a website where you've got a shopping cart, you can upload that into these free Google listings right here. So that just is like a sync. And now we get into companies, so nobody in Marquette, Michigan is doing anything with handbags, like even on their website, because no Google business listings, nothing. Or enough, maybe if I put Marquette, maybe if I just to be fair. Let's just see. Now we still get our same goodies here, whole bags, this is our sponsored. Okay, so here we go. So now we've got gets his colds. Okay, so we've got a couple places that handbag is their keywords. Here's your freebie ads, which is nice. Yeah, so, okay, well, where are we going with this? We're just talking,
We're just asking, like, in your experience with all the businesses you work across Michigan, the owners, are you seeing like a lot of the owners still trying to buy space, or are they just kind of putting their profile out there, people find them by chance type of thing?
I work with a lot of very small businesses who are not investing much in advertising dollars. In fact, I would say most of my small businesses are doing zero paid advertising. A lot of them are doing organic social media, get the word out, and some of them are doing nothing and just.
Just give some perspective, like when she's asking, like, should I be putting any money into this?
Yeah.
That way, if she's more or less worried about local sales versus getting people from Minnesota to come and buy something.
Yeah, and if you, so I mean, did you have a particular product, or are you in, did you want to share, like, what's your industry?
Well, I'm in media sales, so,
Okay.
Google is great, but also you have to get people to go to Google, like, with awareness campaigns is kind of huge too, like,
Yeah.
you gotta get them thinking what kind of food or they want, or kind of giving them, kind of piquing their interest, or,
Yeah, right, so it just depends on your result, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not here to condone Google ads by any stretch. I think it just kind of popped up because it's real handy off your Google business listing. Yeah, I don't necessarily condone like any advertising if you could do stuff organic. I am a super uber. I'm all about cheap, right? Free, cheap and free, but I also know that you gotta get the word out. You gotta get the word out. So how do you do that? And it's gonna depend based on your business and what your goals are and who your target audience is. So that's like whole other topics.
So to see let's say you decided to advertise and you want to see your ad pop up.
Mhm.
So you just do searches until you see your ad pop up, or?
Well, like for instance, let me just try this one. If I go look for it. Treat. This is one I know they run Google, ads, so sponsored result. So that's an ad that's just running
So you
because,
requested that specific company, you're gonna get their sponsor, good chance you're gonna get their sponsored in. If you put the name of the company in.
oh, right. Now, yeah, well, if I said like, okay, so try this, hotels, Mystique. And it's still gotta get past my junk here, but, now you can get into sponsored ads. Now you got your Expedias, your booking, right? Now you've got, here's your regular listings, and actually the place isn't even in.
Would you be able to talk about maybe SEO, more organic? Google backlinking? Where like the business owner can, do search engine optimization to kind of work on those backlinks for the website to get it more ranking, because Google wants to make sure you're trusted, and the more websites and blogs that you're on, the higher you'll rank.
So that is the whole backside of the website thing. We do have other presentations on that, but I think we've hit our hour, so I mean, that's a whole like another hour. And I'm actually doing that presentation next week online, so that's out there too, so.
Do you guys do that for businesses? The backlinking work and writing?
Yeah, so for the backlinking, are you talking about within the website, or are you talking about
Within
on
the
other
website,
sites? Yeah, we do, yeah, we help advise on that. We don't do websites for people, but we walk them through
Yeah.
like so we'll help you get into the backside of your website, understand how that stuff works. Not everyone, I do that, but like some of my colleagues don't. They would send people to me to do that.
You have Google SEO, and they say like the minimum charge, for SEO work is about $1,000.
Oh,
For 10 hours of
Yeah.
backlinking work.
Yeah,
I'm so cheap and free.
Well, you're probably, you don't do it though, Nicole, you just guide
We
the
just,
business owners
Yeah.
and teach them how to do it. They're not gonna
exactly.
do the work for you.
So
Yeah.
I'll just be on a Zoom call with them, and it's a lot. It can get, it's like click here,
Yeah.
click.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes there are clients that just don't have the technical savvy even for that, it's just so incredibly frustrating for them. And at that point, they would just probably need to hire someone to have done, and whether it's a website provider or, an SEO professional. And again, it's always comes down to time or money, are you gonna spend your time doing this, or are you gonna spend your money to get it done? So, everyone has their own decisions to make on that stuff, so.
We have some questions online.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's two people that asked about the question about getting a custom email address and premium features to elevate your businesses. Stacy, she started her business using her personal email, but she doesn't know how to pay for premium features. Can she switch her personal to her business email without having to pay for the outfit?
Okay, so you're asking, like, do you need to buy a Google admin account
Yeah.
to seem more professional?
Yeah.
They can come off mute if they wanna ask it to
Okay,
clarify.
yeah, maybe we can have her ask it, so I understand what I'm answering.
So I am on, as we're listening, I'm like, oh, I'll multitask here because squirrels, they're live. Anyway, it popped up with that question. It wanted to offer me that free trial, which means it's free for so long, right? And I didn't know how much. And I saw that, Laura and Elisa, thank you so much for the information. It looks like maybe $6 a month, which is like, oh, maybe that would be worth it. But I hate to get sucked into something, because I did not start my business with a business email address. I just used my personal because I have enough emails. So.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that depends on like your definition of a business email address, right? So you could get your business name at gmail.com, and that could be your business email. Now, there are a lot of good reasons if you're a professional services business. If you're more like a trust-based business, you might want to go with the at yourbusiness.com or whatever your domain name is, because that's more of a stamp of validation that you're an actual real business, that you're paying for that. A lot of places still just use Gmail, and again, it comes down to what are you willing to pay for, where are you at in your business cycle. It's not a necessity, it's just really, what's your branding? What are you wanting to, put into your budget? Here in the UP, I mean, I love to say, free is great. However, if you're a professional, or you've got a business where, you've got lots at stake, you've got high insurance policies, you've got, high-end clients, $6 a month is probably a pretty small investment to elevate your business. So it's just choices and weighing the pros and cons.
And another thing, you can create a business account, Gmail account too, and you can link it to your personal. So you can link email accounts if you wanted to have another account that's just for your business and have it linked to your personal email, so they're all in one account. If that makes sense.
I'm such a big Chrome user, like, I don't know where I'm on the screen right now. I'm on the Zoom. I guess I gotta get out of here. I'm such a big Chrome user. I got like a zillion, to me, I just flip. I just use this and I just switch from profile to profile. I keep all my stuff segregated by profile. You could do that, and it's easy to add, we showed you how to do the Google business listing. Go to those 3 dots. Where were we? On the listing, let's way back. Can they hear us now or no?
They can hear you. I just,
okay.
if you can't hear them, then I just want to make sure we can hear them if they're talking to you.
Yeah, they can't hear me. I can't hear them.
Yeah.
That may be an output thing, maybe, this is some setting. But yeah, so it's just a matter of just giving your other profiles access to those different accounts. So if you've got a Wix website, give your business profile access to that account, and that's just a way to add them as another user. And it might be a little tedious up front, but it's going to save you a lot of time and headaches later. It's also going to be less confusing, and then you can charge, put your business credit card on your Wix account or whatever account, and everything's separated. So, and that's how I like to run things. Just, have all that whole list of different profiles and keep all my apps, separate to that whatever email address is operating it. So
That's what we do too.
yeah. Yeah, and then that's privacy too, privacy and security, and especially like if you're gonna be hiring people later to work for you, you don't want them having access to your personal stuff. So.
Were there any more questions online? No?
Very good.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thanks for attending, everyone, appreciate it, it's great to meet all you guys, and